Hello! I know what you're thinking. There aren't nearly enough competing views of the nature of hell, and we need to make the whole debate more confusing by introducing additional views. Well, I'm your guy. Let's take a look at a rarely discussed view on the nature of hell. But first, let's do a quick recap of the three main views in this debate. The most popular is eternal conscious torment. On this view, the damned will suffer in hell for all of eternity. By contrast, on universalism, everyone gets to heaven eventually. Finally, on annihilationism, the damned will just cease to exist. The view we'll be looking at today is one wherein the damned will suffer for an eternity, in some sense, but eventually everyone gets to heaven. To explain how that works, we'll need to look at some math! Yay! I like math. Anyways, the number line, also called the real number line. It extends infinitely far in the positive and negative directions. But even though they extend infinitely far, infinity isn't itself a number. Or, more accurately, it isn't a real number. It doesn't show up anywhere on the real number line. However, cool math guys use their math powers to invent the surreal number line. The surreal number line includes all the real numbers, but infinity also shows up infinitely far down the line. And it's like a number, albeit a surreal number, so you could do normal numbery things with it, like add 1 to it. Infinity plus 1 is also a surreal number. Also, infinity minus 1. And negative infinity is a surreal number. Oh, and so is 2 times infinity, which is infinitely far from 1 times infinity. And after 2 times infinity, we get 3 times infinity, and then 4 times infinity, and so on until we get infinity times infinity, or infinity squared. And the surreal numbers just keep going, to infinity to the power of infinity, and past that into all sorts of crazy big infinite numbers. Hopefully that gives you at least an intuitive understanding of surreal numbers, because now I want to introduce a hypothesis. Our timeline matches the surreal number line. Instead of the future only being as big as the positive side of the real number line, the future is as big as the positive side of the surreal number line. On the timeline, there's the year 2022 AD, the year infinity AD, the year infinity squared AD, and so on. Here's a quick argument for this hypothesis. It's impossible to imagine a better place than heaven. But if our timeline doesn't match the surreal number line, then you can imagine a better place than heaven. Namely a heaven plus that is just like heaven, except that it lasts longer because its timeline does match the surreal number line. So our timeline does in fact match the surreal number line. Coolio. But enough about heaven, how does all of this affect hell? Well, some people affirm that the punishment of hell lasts an infinite amount of time due to scriptural and philosophical reasons, whereas others affirm that all will be reconciled to God because of, well, scriptural and philosophical reasons. We can, in theory, make both sides happy by affirming that for an infinite future, the damned are indeed punished in hell. But after an infinite amount of time, the damned are reconciled to God. You can affirm both eternal conscious torment as well as universalism. Of course, there is more to be said about this view, like its denial of causal finitism, and I think it has a rather bizarre reliance on presentism, but that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching.